Hello and welcome to the first lesson of the GCSE Chemistry Paper 2 topic, Chemistry of the Atmosphere, and in this lesson we're going to look at the formation of the atmosphere. Before we start, some top tips for getting the most out of this lesson. Do not have any web pages or windows open that will distract you. Answer all of the questions, they will help to make sure you understand the new content. Switch off your phone or at least have it in a different room, it's the biggest distraction you've got. And finally, try to complete the lesson in one session. It will really help you to understand what has been covered. The plan for this lesson, as always, we'll start with some retrieval practice. We know we need to go over previous topics to make sure we don't forget anything. We will have a look at the new content of the formation of the atmosphere. You will have some time to embed the new content before it's your chance to have a go and develop your understanding with some practice work. What you're going to need is a mini whiteboard or a pen and some paper, possibly some revision cards for the retrieval practice, an exercise book or notepad to write down the new content, a mini whiteboard, pen and paper, or someone who can quiz you for the embedding, and an exercise book or notepad again for the practice work. Pause the video and get yourself organised. Let's start with some retrieval practice. First retrieval slide, pause the video and answer the questions on some paper or a mini whiteboard. Here are the answers. Any that you couldn't answer or weren't sure about, you should write down on revision cards or in a notebook so you can go back over them later. Pause the video and do that now. Second retrieval slide, pause the video and give these questions a go. Here are the answers. Make sure you pause and write down any that you weren't sure about. Final retrieval slide, pause and have a go. Again, here are the answers. Pause and write down the ones you struggled with. On to the new content. You'll need an exercise book or notepad so you can write down the questions and answers as they appear on the screen. You'll need these for the embedding part of the lesson later on. Pause and get yourself organised. This lesson is all about our atmosphere. So what is the atmosphere? It's a layer of gases surrounding a planet. What are the approximate proportions of the different gases in the atmosphere? It's approximately 4/5 nitrogen, that's about 80%. Approximately 1/5 oxygen, that's about 20%. And there's also a small proportion of other gases, including carbon dioxide, water vapor, and noble gases. How long has the atmosphere been the same as it is today? 200 million years. And how old is the Earth? It's about 4.6 billion years old. In order to get a better understanding of how Earth's atmosphere formed, we're going to go through it step by step on this flowchart, and you're just going to copy down everything I write and draw on your own version. So about 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth formed as a ball of molten rock. So there is our ball of molten rock. The crust formed as it cooled. And this was approximately 4.5 billion years ago. Inside that ball of molten rock, there was intense heat and pressure. So there's our early Earth. And that intense heat and pressure caused volcanoes all across the planet. So intense heat and pressure cause volcanoes. those volcanoes emitted lots of gases. And those gases were carbon dioxide and nitrogen. But there was also other gases. So carbon dioxide and nitrogen emitted along with methane, water vapor, and ammonia. Those gases then gathered all around the atmosphere. Gases gathered around Earth forming an atmosphere high in CO2, carbon dioxide. As the Earth then cooled, the water vapor in the atmosphere also began to cool and condensed. And we know when water vapor condenses, we get clouds. And what do clouds do? They produce rain. So that rain fell to Earth and created our early oceans. So as Earth cooled, water vapor condensed and falls as rain. This forms early oceans. And then that leaves us with what we've got today. We have an atmosphere that is approximately 80% nitrogen, approximately 20% oxygen, and less than 1% other gases. So water vapor, carbon dioxide, noble gases, etc. So what was Earth's early atmosphere like? What was the main gas in Earth's early atmosphere? That was carbon dioxide. What planets have an atmosphere like Earth's early atmosphere? Mars and Venus. Where did the gases that made up the early atmosphere come from? Volcanic eruptions. And how did the oceans form? Volcanic activity released water vapor, which then condensed as the Earth cooled. Now it's your chance to embed those key concepts. You can use the look, cover, write, check method, or get someone to ask you the questions and you can tell them the answers. Pause the video and do this now. Now it's time for you to practice using the concepts we've covered in today's lesson. Pause the video and open up your exercise book or notepad. Here are 5 questions to get you to apply the concepts you now know. Pause the video and give them a go. Here are the answers to the first 2 questions. Pause the video and check your answers. And here are the final 3 answers. Once again, pause the video and check your work. That's all for this lesson. Make sure you go back over all the concepts from this lesson, including the retrieval practice, in order to develop your long-term memory. And I will see you next time.